Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show on this Thursday, the 29th of June, 2023. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. I got bit by a tick a few days ago, and it developed a big ugly rash around the bite last night and this morning, so I had to go see the doctor this morning. And so you'd be surprised how hard it is to get to see a doctor on a spur of the moment, you know. But I was successful, and I got to see a doctor, and now I'm on antibiotics for it, which is a good thing, you know. Boy, I'll tell you, there never used to be ticks in this country. You used to be able to walk through the woods anywhere you wanted to walk through the woods and not get a tick on you. Walk through high grass, not get a tick on you. Now the place is just loaded with them. Where in the heck did they come from? Now my father, he said that they're dumping them from airplanes. I don't know. I don't know where they come from, but all I know is they didn't used to be here, and now they're here, so I consider them an invasive species. Anyway, guys, caused a headache, and that's why my show is late today. But stay tuned. I got a good show for you guys. And so we're going to take a look at what's going on in the world right now. That submarine that imploded. Well, they've got the wreckage. And it's got presumed human remains in it. And it's being offloaded at a Canadian port. My take on it is, I feel very sorry for the families out there and everything of the people who died in that submarine. But it was probably some sort of an instantaneous sort of thing because of the great pressure down underneath the ocean. It just imploded is the word for it. It was like an explosion, except an inward explosion. Crushed. Instantaneously crushed. So, I have also considerations of who's going to pay for all this. I heard it costs like over $10 million to rescue efforts and stuff. Well, the taxpayer always pays for everything. And this is the way through the system, the way the system functions now. The taxpayer pays. Everything's on the bill of the taxpayer. And government's growing bigger and bigger, so the bill's getting bigger and bigger. And each individual citizen owes some ungodly amount, like $50,000 or something. Not counting unfunded liabilities in the United States, I think you owe like $1 million. Each and every person. And they're just keep putting more and more on your tab. There's only one way out of this, and that I see is some sort of a debt jubilee. Eventually. Otherwise, it's going to crush the system in the end. Moving on in the news. Now, this is kind of sick. 4 children. Well, there's a pizza restaurant in Ukraine. You know, the people in Ukraine, they don't have much to look forward to anymore. You know? This sick war that's ongoing. And they had this nice little pizza restaurant there that they were going to. And, you know, maybe the only enjoyment these people have left in their country. And you imagine 4 little children in there having pizza and stuff and enjoying themselves, and all of a sudden, boom, the Russians targeted it. A pizza place. That's got nothing to do with the war. That's just pure sickness. Makes me mad. 4 children among 11 killed in missile strike on pizza restaurant. Totally sick. Anyway, there's more in the news today. U.S. pending home sales plunged more than expected in May. What we're looking at is nothing more, nothing less. What's coming is that's when the Fed's going to fold, when it really starts to negatively affect the real estate market. That's when they're going to fold on this interest rate hike in business. But interest rates are going up. The debt market today is blowing up today. We're going to take a look at the debt market in a minute. But interest rates are going up. And, you know, it's very sensitive, the housing market, to interest rates. Because these are long-term loans. And we know how sensitive it is because we all know what happened back in 2008. Lest we forget. Now, France is mobilizing 40,000 police, and all hell's breaking loose in France. Just take a look at this. Take a look at this, guys. Take a look at this chart here. All these red dots on this riot map. It's all over the place, for crying out loud. It's in France. It's like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Looks like 29 riots going on. And I mean, it's really rough. I mean, they're burning cars and burning buildings, and it's really rough. Look at the fires going on, and the cars on fire, and everything else. So it hasn't went away, you know. French riots after something police shoot teen. You know, that could be coming to just about every country on earth. Honestly. Okay. What else I wanted to show you? Let me see here. We've covered most of the stories, so now we're going to take a look at the markets, and see what they're doing. Silver price today, 22.54. It's down 15 cents. Now I'll tell you guys what. Silver is not like gold. You know, I'm going to tell you, they take gold and they dig it out of the ground and they accumulate it. They don't use it for a whole lot of anything. They melt it down to bars, and in the end it ends up being in the vaults as a security for the money out there. And the big central banks and stuff put it away, and it just sits there. And they got heaps of it. Did you know there's possibly right now, because it's tight on silver, there's possibly as much as 7 times more gold out there than there is silver. But the price is so much cheaper for silver than gold, and it doesn't make any real sense. Now, it comes out of the ground at roughly 9 to 1. So they get 9 ounces of silver out of the ground for every ounce of gold. So it is more plentiful in the ground than it is, it is. But not at the ratios it's at right now. And the ratio has been over 100 to 1. Where it comes out of the ground at 9 to 1. What that means basically is the silver's going to go back to its 9 to 1 ratio or better, given time. And silver's got more volatility than gold, but ultimately when silver takes off and goes into a real bull market, when we see the real bull market start here, you're going to see that ratio fall, the gold to silver ratio. And I think the first move is going to see it go under 40 to 1 in the first leg of this. We're looking at a 7 to 8 year long bull market in gold and silver that's coming up very, very soon now. We're on the edge of it, but it's not quite yet. And before it hits, we're probably going to see the price on gold and silver probably is going to stay down. It might even go a little bit lower before we see this massive bull market that we're going to enter into in gold and silver that's coming. Now, cryptocurrencies, I'm going to tell you guys honestly about Bitcoin. It's either going to make it or it's going to fail. It's going to fail catastrophically, or it's going to be huge. One of the two. Either a catastrophic failure or it's going to be huge. And if it's huge, it's going to be worth in the millions. Or there's going to be catastrophic failure of it, and it's not going to be worth hardly anything. One of the two is going to happen here. So when you're buying Bitcoin, you're actually betting. It's like betting. It's like going to a casino and betting on. But if it is a bet, it's probably stands a pretty good chance of being a winner. But still, it's a very, very risky bet, because if it fails, you stand to lose almost everything. So it's all or nothing. Now, see, with gold and silver, totally different story here. Much more of a sure thing, but the gains on Bitcoin will probably exceed. If Bitcoin succeeds, the gains are going to be astronomical. So there you go, in a nutshell. If you're a betting person, it's much better. I would say your odds are an awful lot better than buying lottery tickets, I'll tell you that. And I see these people who just, honest to goodness, every week they go to the store and they buy a certain percentage of their income in lottery tickets because they're hoping to win. If they took that little bit of money that they spent, and if they were to just accumulate cryptos, or even better, accumulate gold and silver, then they really would be a winner after a while, Dow Jones Industrial Average today is up 176 points at 34,029, so it's cracked 34,000 again. This is our blow-off top we're getting right now. Okay, taking a look at crude oil today is at 69.62. It's up 6 cents on the day so far, which is not much movement for crude. It's been hovering around that $70 mark lately. Bonds and rates. Now here we see the debt market, and take a look at these. These are some big moves in the debt market today. Really big. Let me refresh the page. The 10-year has went up to 3.85. It's went up 13 basis points today alone. That's a lot. And looking at the 30-year, it's up 3.9, and it's up 11 basis points today. So that's making a little bit of it's affecting. That's going to start. We're going to have to wait and see if this continues, this trend with the debt market. You got to watch this debt market. This is one of the biggest markets out there. It's much bigger than the stock market. Let's take a look now at the US dollar index, and we're seeing the dollar index is going up today at 103.31. It's been hovering around 102. Now it's up to 103.31. It's going up today. Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode, and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.